What's cracking, traders? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon GO Battle League content, and in today's video, we got an awesome submission here in the Mega Master League of all things. Love this format, by the way. I really hope they bring it back. YuriAvenger is bringing us some sick gameplay in the 2700 ELO range, going on a nice climb from the looks of it here with Mega Swampert, which is a core-breaking Pokemon in the Mega Master League. Honestly, the Mudshot nerf was really did him in, but Swampert used to be one of the meta titans across all three leagues because of how good it was with that Hydro Cannon pressure. In the lead, we're going to have a Shadow Magnezone because YuriAvenger likes to spice things up, which is who our trainer being featured today is. And if you'd like to send in some games of your own to the channel for Shoutcasting, trainers, I got a Google form in the pinned comment description with your name on it, and you can go ahead and click on that, fill out the form, and send in the games if you'd like. Third Pokemon on the team, hey, Palkia is on like every other team, if not all of them, but hey, we're not running Zacian today, which is a different change of pace. If you wanted to try this team yourself, because Double Water is really strong, you could just replace the Magnezone with the Zacian, and you've got a pretty standard meta team. Let's get into these games, though. I want to see some Earthquake nukes. Give it to me, Yuri. First game up, we got Shadow Magnezone into a... We're off to a banger with a Primarina lead. Absolutely. Opponent swaps in Palkia, and that increased energy on the Volt Switch is making this a very quick charge to the move. Mirror Shot gets the shield as well. Magnezone hanging on, not a problem for it. Despite the lack of defense from the Shadow status, it's having a great time, and now Yuri's going to drop in. The Magnezone has a move banked, and Palkia is going to catch the Aqua Tail. The opponent is not going to have a good time because Yuri can just simply apply one Protect Shield to this Palkia and get a full farm down of the opponent's Palkia origin, and that is a lot of dangerous energy in the Master League. It doesn't matter what comes in. That's going to be a problem. So the opponent's going to bring in Primarina, which is obviously, of course, the only thing in the entire format that could completely make me eat crow about what I just said about Palkia not being able to have a problem with anything. But Primarina is literally the only thing, dude. Aqua Tail is going to be dropping it down to about half, and then Yuri's going to immediately swap in, look to get the Wild Charge off, and the opponent shields it up and makes me a sad person. They're going to get a full farm down, and that's really dangerous. Mega Swampert's going to have to come in and do some heavy lifting with those big, muscular arms of it. Mega Swampert comes in, starts to get the energy together to hit this Primarina with the Hydro Cannon, or I don't think you're getting a full farm down off of this. I don't think so. The opponent's going to bring in a Primal Groudon. Trainer, no, that was not the swap in. They're going to go straight for a move. Now, Yuri is putting up a shield, needs to get a little bit of extra energy. The opponent baits with a Fire Punch because they are a coward and will not commit to the move. And Yuri has to shield it anyway because it's Primal Groudon, but that's going to be a knockout. And Primal Groudon is cooked, and the opponent's going to concede. Game one, well played. Uh-oh, that's a bad lead. We're getting out right away. Urshifu in the lead in the next game, and the opponent brings a Primarina, bro. Dude, what is this? Primarina in Urshifu? Bro! As a Zekrom enjoyer, you are going to have a bad time if you play somebody using it. And I hit Legend with it recently, so it's probably going to see a little bit of play. I don't know. Primarina Urshifu is diabolical work, man. Magnezone comes back in to absorb this energy. No, it's shielding the Hydro Cannon. Not something that it wants to mess with, but these counters are going to add up so quickly. But with that one Volt Switch head start, we get that much closer to the Wild Charge, and Urshifu gonna put up a shield. Now Swampert comes in, and now the fighting type damage is going into something more neutral, and Swampert, all those muscles, allows it to take this pretty nicely, and the opponent's got Primal Kyogre in the back. Now it's all up to Swampert and Magnezone. Can we make it happen? Going for the Earthquake. Is this gonna land? We need Mega Swampert to put in some heavy lifting. That's gonna not do enough. Nope, that's you know what? Primals are nasty work, man. Anyway, in comes the Magnezone, puts up another shield because the energy that Kyogre just got is going to not allow this Magnezone to have a good time. But no, trying to go for the farm down, and unfortunately we see an immediate simultaneous KO. Oh man, that's unfortunate. All right, get into the next game. Nice positive lead here with Magnezone against the Zacian. This is the exact reason why Electric is so helpful in this meta, because Zacian does not do well into the elemental types like water, fire, and electric because of the steel resists that they have. Now, Magnezone is going to fire off this wild charge. It's going to hit this Palkia square in the cheeks. And now we're going to go for a little bit more of an overfarm and try to fire off that is a mirror shot trainer. What is not a wild charge? My goodness. And now in comes Palkia, but we're going to have to shield back against the Spatial Rend. I think this could be dangerous. Going to go straight for a no shield. The opponent's Spatial Rend's clapped! And bye-bye Palkia. But in comes Magnezone to get some... No! Swampert's coming in to get that farm, and Swampert's going to be able to throw a Hydro Cannon here, but the opponent Zacian strikes first. This is a close combat, and it's going to do quite a bit of damage, but Swampert hangs on quite nicely, and is going to be able to get a massive Mud Shot farm here before throwing at this Hydro Cannon before the opponent can get to another charge move. Hydro Cannon's going to get the knockout here, and now in comes the Mega Gyarados. And this opponent's running the top Zacian double water team of the format. Earthquake is gonna, or not, yeah, Earthquake is gonna connect. And then comes the Magnezone to try to apply some fast move pressure. Aqua Tail would have done heavy damage, but now going for the mirror shot. We're desperate for an attack drop here. I do believe that this mirror shot gets the shield, and now Magnezone gonna have to take an Aqua Tail. Can we even? Can we even? Aqua Tail does not get the knockout, but we don't have the move. Palkia comes in, snipes us down. Swampert going for the farm down. The opponent does not get the farm with this Dragon Breath Palkia, and it comes the Gyarados! And Swampert goes for the win. Good game. Next game. Hey, speaking of Zekrom, Magnezone is not happy to see this, and in comes Palkia. Zekrom will be able to go for a move before the Palkia can get to any meaningful damage, but this might force the shield off of Yuri. Yuri's going to say, no, I'm going to take this Fusion Bolt. The opponent swings in the Mega Gyarados here on the flip. This might be, no, this might be my Legend team. Yo, I love seeing this. This is awesome. That's awesome. It's just really like, it's really cool to see somebody else playing your team to try to climb it. Just I feel like a proud dad. Aqua Tail is going to do a lot of damage here, but the mirror shot is fired off for Magnezone. I don't know even if this is enough damage to KO the Mega Gyarados. It's not enough. And the opponent has another move, and Yuri's Magnezone is in shambles as it's now forced to no shield this Aqua Tail and let it go. And now Mega Swampert's coming in looking to make things happen with the two shields it has, but there's nothing. I don't think you can. The Palkia just has too much move, pressure, damage. It's just everything is all in the opponent's favor right now. And unfortunately for Swampert, I feel like this is probably not going to end in its favor. But Yuri Swampert is now going on and on in this battle, trying to see if it can flip it somehow. Aqua Tail's going to get the shield here. Mega Swampert looking to try to go for another bait. Does the opponent bother shielding this? If they don't, it's definitely over. Hydro Cannon gets the other shield. Now Swampert just needs to reach it, but the opponent comes in with the Zekrom, and they need two Earthquakes, and they can't get it, and Swampert goes back into its Pokeball to take a rest. Good job, trainer. Next game. Oh no, another Electric Dragon, and we see the Palkia come in. Magnezone, this is why, okay, so Magnezone could be another Electric type as well. They're very good in the lead in this format, I'm telling you guys. It's super sauce. And then the opponent's going to come in with a non-Mega Gyarados. Palkia is going for the Spatial Rend because it needs to. Aqua Tail's not going to cut it in this matchup. The opponent, no shields, doing heavy damage to the Gyarados, and they're able to make it to a last-moment Aqua Tail for some parting damage here. Aqua Tail's going to get the shield. The opponent wishing they had shielded that Spatial Rend because their Gyarados is not having a good time. And one Volt Switch will be more than sufficient to bring down the Gyarados from its place in the sky. Aqua Tail does some hefty damage, but not enough to make us sweat about it. Now an immediate swap. No, we're staying in. The opponent trying to go into that Ampharos. Now in comes Florges. Now, this is where things are going to get dicey. This Hydro Cannon pressure is going to be really nasty here. Swampert finally finding its way to a target that doesn't resist water, and the opponent shields up immediately. They're going for a Chilling Waters. Trainer, don't shield this. They don't run Trailblaze in the Master League. No, sir. Here comes the Chilling Water. It's going to do some very dinky little neutral damage to get the debuff, and Swampert looking at that Florges with these guns in his hands. Gun show! And here goes the Chilling Water. Once again, the opponent desperate for some debuffs here, but in comes the Magnezone to reset the debuff on Swampert and also absolutely clap that That poor little Florges, and now in comes the Mega Ampharos, which now throws energy because it has so much and has to use it at some point. But unfortunately for the opponent, Mega Swampert just comes in and gets to this Earthquake, and it's too little too late for the opponent's Ampharos. As good of a core breaker as it is, this Swampert was locked, loaded, and ready to go, and the Swampert's going to be able to do a little bit of one of these.
Exodia, obliterate!
Good game. Oh, no! And now the Nemesis... There's a Primal Groudon on our screens, and the opponent's gonna stay in and let the Palkia throw this Aqua Tail that would do double super effective damage. The opponent puts up a Protect Shield. They're gonna be looking to go for it. They're on Mudshot! Are they really? Oh no, you wanna be on Dragon Tail with Groudon now. If you have the option, make sure that you are on it. The opponent goes for the Hail Mary Fire Punch bait, but I think that Yuri was able to either call it or knew that wasn't quite enough for the Precipice, and now the opponent has invested 2 Protect Shields in this. No, it's definitely on Dragon Tail. Okay. No, I'm coping. The anime, I didn't see the Dragon Tail animation, so I thought maybe it was the Mudshot animation. All right, we figured it out. We're back. 2-0 shield advantage. Mega Swampert comes in, and the Groudon has tears coming from its eyes. If you can't see, they're made of lava, but they're there. The opponent baits with a Fire Punch because I swear to God, that's all the Groudon players ever do. I don't think I have ever seen one throw the Precipice. The opponent goes for a bait, and Yuri calls it. The opponent's Groudon getting caught with his pants down, energy down. I don't know how that works quite, but whatever. You know what? Don't worry about it. It comes to Dialga. The opponent has a Steel type for this Swampert. Trainer, that's not what you want to bring into a Swampert. Swampert is looking to put on the chef's hat and fire up the skillet. Earthquake going in, and now, oh, bro. Put a little Taco Bell on it, bro. Zekrom comes in. They have an Earthquake for that, too.
Exodia, obliterate!
Oh, Swampert, you beautiful creature! Great! Great sweep. Good game. Oh, I love when we can have fun with these, man. I love when getting nuked. Hey, look! Another Groudon! Let's see what happens this time. We're going to see an immediate switch to the Palkia, and the opponent still on Dragon Tail looks to try to stay in and then bring in Zacian, but the problem for this opponent here is that giving the energy to the Palkia is exactly what allows it to beat Zacian in the 2 shields matchup. Now the opponent is going to go for a shield on the Aqua Tail. They have respected a Fire Blast. Oh, everything is just going wrong for this opponent. But if you're in this position and you need to swap in on a Palkia with your, for example, if you're running this opponent's team, get in right away if you're going to bring in your Zacian, because you absolutely need to be able to get that energy to get these close combats in, because unfortunately now, oh, and they swap in to catch the move. Oh, that's a swap to catch it. No! I played that one because there's a literal kaboom at the end, and that's what it felt like. It's just, man, everything is Palkia right now. Magnezone serves no purpose here. Magnezone is a meat shield and nothing but. The opponent saving a shield for whatever they've got in the back, and Primal Groudon comes in because it really wants this farm down. But Mega Swampert has that double super effective damage, and the opponent lets it go. But unfortunately, this now just puts them in a farm range for the Mega Swampert, and Groudon is looking to get farmed down here if they don't swap out. But no, this is Palkia! You're not shielding this Earthquake, are you, Trainer? The opponent's going to go for the Spatial Rend, and this feels like it's all doom and every bit of gloom. Going for the Earthquake here. Do we land it? Does the opponent try to call it? Earthquake going out. Mega Swampert gets the shield. Oh. Oh, I wanted it so bad, man. But unfortunately, the opponent's Palkia was a little bit too much for the Swampert. We're going to take a loss there. Good. I wonder how it would have worked with Sludge. Good game. Brother, not another one. Are you kidding me? 3 in a row, dude. In comes Palkia. Oh, look, a Primo. Top left. Top left. I'm done. No. No. I know that's what this is here for. The Palkia safe swap is surely to bait out the Primarinas that would otherwise make life difficult for the Swampert. You actually can get to another Aqua Tail, but Yuri's going to let this go. It could just be a Hydro Cannon. The opponent does go for some Fairy-type damage in the Disarming Voice, and Magnezone comes in to get some energy. No shields have been drawn so far in the game. The opponent has the Groudon, and what are they going to come in with? Is that a Zacian I'm smelling in the back, Trainer? Because this Swampert is about to cook that Primal Groudon right out of this kitchen. This Hydro Cannon is going to get the first shield. The opponent has to. Going for it. Yuri's trying to call the bait. The opponent goes for the Fire Punch, and the Groudon's in shambles. In comes Zacian, and Zacian is doing resisted damage with these Metal Claws, and that is going to give Swampert exactly what it needs. With 2-to-1 shield advantage, it needs to KO with an Earthquake and have the ability to go for the Hydro Cannons. No, it doesn't even need to KO with the Earthquake. Hydro Cannon's going to do plenty with those Mud Shots. Opponent going to take the Hydro Cannon. No, they're going to go ahead and no shield. No, they're going to shield, and now in comes the Magnezone. Once again, no! The Magnezone gets sacrificed to Arceus, and the opponent concedes, knowing that the Swampert's about to sweep them. Positive lead for a change in the next game. Zacian, the most common lead in the Mega Master League. Don't get it wrong, those 3 Primal Groudons were just there to scare you, but Wild Charge is going to land, and that's going to do massive damage, and all we need is 1 shield to get this farm down, and the opponent probably has Palkia Gyarados in the back, because that's just what they all seem to have in this cup. The opponent gonna be looking to bring in, never mind, I'm just full of it today, and the opponent's got a Primal Groudon in the back on this one too. You know, just when you thought you could read a team. But Primal Groudon is an absolutely dominant pick in this meta, so it absolutely makes sense for it to be here. But unfortunately, now Yuri's going to have a choice to make. Do we call this Fire Punch? The opponent going for the Precipice Blades, and that's going to do a lot of damage and knock out the Palkia, and then some. Now it's Swampert's turn. It needs to come in and do something here. The opponent going to be looking to go into their Kyurem, and now Magnezone will be available to come in, go for the Mirror Shots, and start applying super effective damage to the opponent. Could this be a Flash Cannon? The opponent has no idea. They're going to let it go. They're calling that Mirror Shot, but that was an attack drop, and they're going to get another one. And all this trainer has is a resisted damage. Magnezone resists both the Freeze Shock and the Fusion Bolt that comes from this, but Fusion Bolt not quite gonna do it. The opponent does get the Dragon Tail down though, but this is perfect farm down range for Mega Swampert, which needs to shield up a correct Freeze Shock here. It does indeed. The opponent is not gonna have the ability to get to a Precipice Blades after throwing the previous one, and that is gonna seal the fate of this Groudon, because Swampert gets to the back-to-back Hydro Cannons to be able to knock out. And here we go once again. We got a Dong Dong for ya. Ding dong! The Groudon's gone. And Swampert's able to make it to a parting gift of a Hydro Cannon to be able to knock out this Kyurem as well. Nicely done. Good game. I'm starting to feel like I need a variety of buttons for videos like this, where there's so many things getting one shot that I can't keep pressing the same button over and over again. Unless you guys just appreciate the Taco Bell dong noise, regardless of how many times I hit it in the video. But either way, let me know in the comments. I would like to know your feedback. Let me get some. I've had some good suggestions. I just got to find them on the good old internet to be able to add them to my soundboard. Opponent gonna go for the close combat, gets the shield this time. Magnezone. Bro, another Groudon? Where did this team come from? Did somebody make a video on this team specifically? Because I feel like I've seen it more often than I care to admit. I have not, until maybe like a day ago, seen this many people running the Zacian Groudon core. Somebody tell me. Precipice Blades is going to knock out the Palkia once again. And now Primal Groudon finds itself in the unknown. It's not sure what's coming in, but Mega Swampert was not on his bingo card today, and now he's looking to go for the Precipice Blades, but Yuri needs to know if this is a Fire Punch, you're not going to let this go. If the opponent goes for another Fire Punch bait, that's going to be fine. In comes the Zacian just to get farmed down and add to the stockpile of Swampert's energy that's about to feed a family somewhere. That's going to be a lot of damage. Palkia is going to come in and is going to have to take a Wild Charge. The opponent just recently switched out. They are switch locked. They cannot get out of this Palkia matchup, and that's a very unfortunate thing for them, because Wild Charge is going to be hitting really heavy, and once Swampert gets that Earthquake going again, it's going to be, oh no, Magnezone's looking to make this one happen, but the opponent might be able to swap in after this. The opponent does not. They go for the Dragon Breath, and that Wild Charge is going to connect and do serious damage to the Palkia, but it's not going to be quite enough. The opponent comes in with the Groudon. Are we throwing a Mirror Shot? Why not? It's resisted, but it's better than throwing a Wild Charge just to eat up that switch timer. And now Mirror Shot is going to get the switch clock in, but no, the opponent goes for a charge move. Are they going for the full send of the Precipice Blades? No, it's a Fire Punch. Trainer, no, you need to get out of here with the fire punching business. Swampert's got your number. He's got a Hydro Cannon just for you. Swampert delivers to Groudon's face and going for the, you don't even need to go for this, do you? I don't know if you do or not. I think Palkia might have had to move. So Hydro Cannon double resisted, but enough to take out Palkia from that range. Gonna be a good game. YuriAvenger going on a really nice rip with this Mega Swampert team. Definitely has its soft spots in this meta, but as I said earlier in the video, this is a trainer who's, I mean, I didn't say this earlier, but they're running Magnezone because they're having fun. But if you want to turn this into a standard meta team, Electric type or Zacian in the lead will make you very solid games with this team. I'm sure Magnezone had some times where it kind of just didn't have anywhere to go, but YuriAvenger tried to make it happen anyway. Thank you again for sending in these games to us, Yuri, and you guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments if you've been enjoying the Mega Master League at all this rotation, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you as always. Bye-bye.